Welcome back to Real Florida Magazine.
Welcome back. Still here in downtown Chipley, here right now at the site of the brand new Kate Smith Elementary School here in Chipley. Right now we have the fortune of being with Washington County Superintendent of Schools, Joe Taylor. Joe, we've been here several times with you, kind of looking at the progress. Behind us now, we're actually seeing stuff coming out of the ground. That's pretty exciting. Talk a little bit about what we see behind us here.
The building 600 is the one that you see the block work going on. They're going to be pouring those blocks shortly for the exterior walls, and they will continue it up. You'll see the stacks already up above on that back side where they're getting ready to continue up, and that's what's in the middle there is the blocks on that one. This is building 600. There's actually 8 of these. This is only one of the 8. There's also a multi-purpose building that will be over here behind you, which is like the covered play area that we have at Kate Smith Elementary, not quite that size that is there.
Building 600 behind us, a classroom facility?
All of these will be classroom facilities that you're looking at right now. The very front building, and if you look, and if you're able to, back over there on the other side where those mounds of dirt are, that is the front, which is your cafeteria, your administrative offices, your media center, and then there's classrooms on the far end.
We've talked about this before, but for those who would be maybe new viewers or who weren't paying attention the first time, when are you actually anticipating being able to enroll the very first students?
We plan to be here in August of 2016 is when we'll open up school here.
Okay, so basically the next school, not this coming school year, but the next school year.
That's correct.
The community is pretty excited. We've got a lot of things going on. We've got a $9.2 million courthouse right now, just a few blocks from here, being the old one being demolished and the new one soon to be built, and this $28 million project here. Talk a little bit about the stance of the school board. There's got to be excitement, obviously, getting the funding in these challenging fiscal times. It's great stuff for Washington County.
It absolutely is. We're still fairly confident. We know there's not even a budget adopted on the legislative side as we speak right now. All of our contacts, the conversations that we have, we're full speed ahead on this. Everything seems to be coming together on it.
Hats off to you, Joe, as well as the other school board members. You guys have been spending a lot of time in Tallahassee. You've been talking, you've been meeting and greeting, pressing the flesh, doing whatever it takes. At the end of the day, sometimes lobbying has a bad connotation. You've got to let the legislators know what your needs are. You've got to let them know over and over again, because they, just like us, have short attention spans. You guys were successful in a very large way of getting this project done. It stood on its own merits, all things being equal, because Kate Smith is in rough shape, for lack of a better term. This is just huge for the county economic development. It's huge for the educational opportunities for our children. As the superintendent of schools, you've got to be especially proud of this whole project.
It is, and it's been an incredible thing. It's been a project that's been rolling on for 20 years. The lobbying, that does have a negative connotation because you're paying. What the school board and myself have done has none of that. This is something that we've done for this school district, and the fact of the matter, it does stand on it, and it is needed. Yeah,
and I'm glad that you said that. When I use the term lobbying, I don't necessarily point toward that paid pit bull type of a mentality, but you guys have been pit bulls nonetheless, and like as you point out, as all part of your regular job, and you don't get overpaid for what you do to start with. So hats off to you. This impacts the community, as I kind of alluded to a second ago, in many, many ways. Economic development. We've got a lot of local people that are going to be having jobs here day to day for that 2-year period. Talking to Mitchell a while ago, I think this project is back on track. The last time we were here, we were in the midst of that real rainy spell. According to what you've heard, we're on track now for that deadline?
We're on track, and even we're planning on being in school here of August of 2016. We'll actually take possession of this by June 30th of next year. That'll give us a month to iron out any of the kinks that's in there. So when you're 5 or 6 days behind on a schedule that's a year ahead of you, you don't even panic on that one. The weather we have right now is perfect. I mean, this is what you want to be building in.
When I first moved to Florida 40-something years ago, somebody said we had 3 seasons: too hot, too cold, and too nice to work. And this is some of that too nice to work stuff. Unfortunately, that season doesn't last long enough, but we're enjoying that weather. Obviously, the general contractor enjoying that kiss. Talk a little bit about what you're hearing in the community, the buzz. Certainly parents are coming to you, school administrators and teachers have got to be talking to you, expressing their excitement about the new school.
As far as the community and the parents, yes. When you deal with the traffic issues of Kate Smith and you can sit there and think, in another year, this will be gone. That's a good feeling. The teachers and the things that's over there, they're already developing committees as far as selecting technologies, colors, all of the things that go within the school, and actually gives its personality in the school itself.
Yeah, they get to do the fun stuff.
Correct. But on the part of the, on the selection, I'm not real good with colors. Being male, I am not.
Your wife mentioned that last time.
Yes, that is correct. And it's a test at times with whether ties match or not match, and I have to pay attention to that. And then when you get into a school, this one we're looking at for the next 50 years, you want it nice.
And I'm glad that you talk about personal strengths and not character strengths we're talking about here now, but life experience. You bring to the table a huge fiscal experience as an accountant, as somebody who has done that kind of work. Not to disparage anything or anybody, you caught some heat about not having been a teacher and in your present position as superintendent of schools. What we needed was somebody to be able to watch those dollars, somebody to administer, somebody to act as that politician. Sometimes that has a bad connotation. You've done a wonderful job doing all of those things. At the end of the day, I submit that the superintendent of schools doesn't necessarily have to have a teaching background, just a love of kids and a desire and an ability to fiscally be responsible and to take care of the county. And not trying to kiss up to you in any way, but you've done exactly that.
I appreciate that. I think the most important thing is an appreciation for education and everything that encompasses that, and the values that have to go with that, and where you have to go, whether it's with a student or their parents, and for everything that goes into that. And it's more than numbers. It's more than everything. It's being able to say, this is your future, and we have to prepare you for that. And however many students we have, that's how many different futures are ahead of them, but we have to be ready for whatever they got coming.